Okay, everyone, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight and neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the blessed one, the exalted one, the fully enlightened one. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in these ongoing meditation sessions, we mainly try to give some basic information for yourself to build up a very good, very clear spiritual foundation. So when it comes to meditation, there are many interpretations and there are many connotations, there are many explanations. But for us, when it comes to meditation, it's mainly cultivation of our mind. So cultivation of our mind with the profitable skills and at the same time to purify our mind. So purify our mind from unskillful actions and from unwholesome actions and from unwholesome thoughts. And when you are capable to purify that way, you are capable to develop the very profitable way of lifestyle to yourself. So when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, as an ordinary person, you have to be a very comfortable, successful person in this very lifetime as who you are. And at the same time, out of that practice, your next moment or the next life should be comfortable, or it should be better than this moment. That is one of the important things that you have to remember. And other thing is, by the time that practice should bring the ultimate bliss of liberation or the transformation or the nibbana. So that's how these profitable skills work for you. So when it comes to our day-to-day life, in our ordinary life, whatever we do, maybe it works only for that moment, only for that environment. And other thing is, sometimes whatever good for us in this very moment, by the time going to bring us many other difficulties in the future. Maybe in the moment it is very difficult, and maybe by the time there are good results going to come. But just imagine if it take many years, your life already will change by the time. So then the very nature of this Buddha's teaching, you get the result right away. And at the same time, that result will hold you to the path towards the Nibbana. It's not going to take you to somewhere else. So then you can be so comfortable And then you can settle down as who you are, and knowingly you are on the way towards the liberation. So when it comes to this practice, we mainly work with our mind. So that is very important. We not focus to the outside things. Maybe there are a lot of outside things. Just imagine when we just look outside, how many things that we can see. We can't neglect that anything. As example, trees, mountains, and rocks, and buildings, vehicles, that you name it, whatever. That each and everything has its own quality and nature and the power. But the thing is, for your liberation or to get out of your suffering, that will not going to help for you. That is what we have to understand. It is not we neglecting, resisting this outside world or the outside power. Maybe unseen, there are a lot of powers around us. But the thing is that any power, or even maybe deities, angels, and unseen some kind of universal beings, maybe aliens or whatever you name it. Maybe there are some living beings. But the thing is, for them, they can't help for you to develop your liberation. That's the thing. You can't liberate, go behind someone. That is the very core essence of the Buddha's teaching. It is your own choice, and it is your own effort by your own wisdom you have to take into that path. Just imagine in day-to-day life. There are many situations come to us. We can't depend on others' opinion. We can't depend on others' decisions. We can't depend on others' ideas. And sometimes there are situations come, you have to take that decision by yourself. Just imagine if you are not capable to that kind of decision, for just for your own life, for your own ordinary life. Just imagine you go for a dinner and everybody get a menu, and then you have to decide what you want. Maybe sometimes you can't. You look here and there, you look at what other people eat, and maybe you look at what other people going to, get, and maybe you could, talk to the waiter and ask what is good, so kind of like that. So that's mean then if you don't have the strength to be very clear within yourself, and then you always have to depend on something or somebody. So in the outside world, with these material things, in the conventional life, it is, we have to depend on things. But with your mind, with your awareness, with your consciousness, and keep that independent nature within yourself, especially to recognize that your inner feelings. Before we go into inner feelings, you have to practice and start with these outside feelings within your own body. So that is why we need to practice this meditation little by little. So for that, we take a primary mental object, which that our inhalation, exhalation, and we focus in front of our nose and our upper lip area. In this, when it comes to our body, this is the most subtle, sharp place that if we can focus ourselves, it is very difficult to catch here the sensation. But if you can catch here, that other parts of your body very easily you can get. So then you go to the highest in the beginning and practice little by little. So that way you get into the rhythm, or you tune into the flow. And by the time you develop some kind of tranquility state. And when you come to that tranquility state, tranquilizing mind, calm down mind, settling down our mind is a one step. It is not the end. So then what is the end? When it comes to the Buddha's teaching, it's very clearly mentioned that our main purpose is developing the sati. Sati means mindfulness. Ekayano ayamaggo sati pattana. So how you develop this mindfulness, sati. So this mindfulness is it's a kind of like a mirror thought. So the mindfulness not going to go with the choice. Just I give some qualities of it, then that way you can get some kind of understanding about it. So if you simplify the mindfulness, when that's mean you see the very nature or the condition of the experiencer or the thought that happening in you. So as example, that I recognize there is a pain within me. So when you recognize that pain, the mindfulness means you know that you are aware about that pain. So you can recognize the pain, but at the same time, sometimes rather than being aware, you have the pain, you can blame to somebody. You can think something else. So when you have the pain, in that very moment, most of the time in a very conventional life, we don't have the mindfulness. So I'll give a very simple example. When we have the pain, we recognize the pain in that right moment. In that very moment, what we does, we start to think how to get out of the pain. See, then you're focused to something else. You start to look something. So this looking something is always we have in us. It's a kind of like a never-ending process within us. In Japanese, it's called kaizen. You know, we have a very never-ending process. Always always into something, always looking for something, always hearing for something, always have conversation, collaboration, always, you know, blah, 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 blah inside us, or maybe with others. Always with something or somebody. We interfere. So see that we recognize, but at the same time, when you are interfering with something, what happens, you disconnect from the very moment of being. So the mindfulness means rather than look into something, you recognize and you be with it. You recognize it, you start to look into it. When you have a pain, you recognize you have a pain, you start to be with the pain. Once you be with the pain, it's anymore not the pain. You recognize it can happen to good or bad or anything, because when it comes to mindfulness, it doesn't have a kind of like the parallel understanding. It doesn't have a comparison. When it comes to happy moment and the sad moment, if you are become mindful with the very moment what happened, the sadness or the happiness have the same quality. That means that you have the very nature of the thought. The very experience of the happiness or the sadness keep you the same. But once you start to think about it, you bring the ideas, thoughts, experience, and you match and compare, and then that feelings you start to recognize in different ways. So then this mindfulness always with us. But sometimes when we try to understand it, using many words, what happens? We start to go into different meanings. Just imagine when it comes to dictionaries, like very long words have a very simple explanation. But how about when it comes to I, one single letter, or we, go to dictionary and see how many, explanations, and try to explain, in a different ways. So this mindfulness also saying it is there within us. It is very simple, and that simplicity create the complication within us. So then always, if you are capable to, look into you again and again, what you experience, rather than categorizing it, rather than resisting it, rather than dreaming about it, rather than always trying to get into something or interfering or connected to something, you just experience it as it is. So that seeing things as it is, or experiencing things as it is, not the mindfulness. So that is something, be very clear and try to understand it. That when you experience something as it is, if you are capable to know that yourself, you experience it as it is the mindfulness. Seeing things not the mind, seeing things as it is not the mindfulness. So as example, so I see this pen as a pen. And I see this book as a book. Seeing book as a book, seeing pen as a pen, is not going to take you to the end, because every moment, each and every moment, you will experience something. But the thing is, if you are capable, when you see this book as book, so it is the tranquility state, and at the same time you are experiencing yourself, by thoughts yourself, you see this book as book. That is mind. So in that way, that moment of experience, when you come to that, what will happen? The very beauty of that mindfulness, you see the book as book, pen as pen, computer as a computer, phone as phone, singing bowl as singing bowl. What will happen then? How it related to liberation? Because once you come to the mindfulness, it should take you to the liberation, transformation. When it comes to the very clear mindfulness, each and every moment, you experience something new. There's no repetition inside you. And that mindfulness is not bound to something. It is the end result of your entire consciousness, awareness. It's not depend from something kind of like in a very unchangeable way. It is not concrete or solid. So then you come to the newness. Because each and every, when you are become mindful, each and every moment within yourself is new. And there is no repetition. When you come to that moment, what will happen? Because in the very conventional life, we have a nature always bound to past or dream regarding the future related to our past experience. Because without past experience, you can't dream. So then what happens? You repeat it again and again and again. That repetition we call the samsara, or the ordinary life. But now you come, when you are become mindful within your own mind, you see each and every moment. It is a very single moment. It's a very tiny moment you experience. It's complete and it is new. So then just imagine, take 1 minute. Just imagine that you have a mindfulness regarding one thought. Take it as a one single second. So in that single 1 second beginning, you are very complete and you have very brand new moment of experience. It's not bound to past or related to future. Very brand new, complete 100%. And so out of that completion, out of that newness, there is a satisfaction arise. So you are complete satisfied. So then in the very second moment, out of that 60 minutes, the very next moment, what happens? It also brand new, complete, and you have the complete satisfaction. And not only that, you take the highest of the experience out of that moment, that one single second. You experience the highest, complete, and the completely satisfied. And out of that satisfaction, the happiness arises, and then there is no fear. No, there is no doubt, and you know it. So then what happened to you? Go to the third moment, third second. It is not the repetition of the first second, it is brand new second. With that, all other qualities arise. Just imagine 1 minute. If you are capable to continue that process, being mindful, in that 1 minute, each and every second that you experience become completely new, brand new. So then you not depend on thoughts, because in that very moment you complete. That completion leads you to the next moment. Then just imagine that you are capable to increase the continuation little bit more. 1 minute, you go to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Within a day, if you are capable to keep this 5 minutes, within that 5 minutes, you're not going to be a somebody. And you don't want to be a somebody. There is no kind of like a sum. You are just a body. It is just a moment, but it's complete. In that completion, you are capable to reach to the highest level of your human mind. Only the human mind has that ability. Remember that all other animals, they have certain kind of consciousness, awareness, but they don't have this quality of mindfulness. That's why only human beings can attain to liberation or the nibbana or the transformation. So then you have a great opportunity today. Don't lose that opportunity, because we don't know tomorrow. We're going to have this gathering, we're going to have this sangha, or we have this opportunity, or kind of like that. So keep that connection within yourself. And again and again, settle down. So don't look into something, don't go behind something, and just for the moment, be complete. So if you are capable to practice it little by little, you will see by the time you will settle down like the water. So for that, in the beginning, as a primary mental object, we take our own inhalation, exhalation, and focus in front of our nose and upper lip area. So in the beginning, try to master it. So when you are start to observe the sensation of the inhalation, exhalation, don't recognize it by thinking. Don't recognize it by visualizing. You have to recognize the inhalation as inhalation, exhalation as exhalation only by the experience of sensation. If you are capable to do that, that's enough for you for today. So that's why don't look for any other things. Just see when the inhalation or exhalation happens, can you recognize it only by sensation? Not by thinking, dreaming, trying to make anything happen, just only by sensation. Be with it. And then you will see that's mindfulness means, because now what the mistake we does, like when somebody point out the moon and we look at the finger, it's like we just try to go with the words. Oh, mindfulness, what is the mindfulness? We try to understand it by words. You can't. You're going to get something wrong. So that's why it's when it comes to experience, and when you are capable to settle down and recognize the sensation, in that very moment, looking to the recognizer, not the sensation. Let the sensation to be happen. Sensation will happen. The whatever the sensation happened to you billion years ago, that whoever the human beings used to be here, they had that sensation. And after eons by eons, whoever come to this world, they also going to have this sensation. Don't worry about it. It is not personal for you. But recognizing that as who I am, that experiencing this moment is very rare. So they didn't have it. Maybe in the future, that wisdom going to go away, disappear. So that's why the Buddha's teaching is important, that the Buddha is the one who start to look into that, found out that the very observation of the experiencer, not the observation of the experience. It is very, common. You can do many things out of it, but observation of the experiencer is very rare. You have to have a different skill for that. You have to have a very clear, sharp mind for that. And that's that practice, that's why it's called the purification of the mind. So then remember, going here and there, doing this or that, dreaming this or that way, you can't purify the mind. You can purify the mind only by seeing it, observing it and recognizing it. Not to go with it, but to recognizing the recognizer. So just try to, little by little, give you a strength, give your best for your own practice. You don't need to do it because I tell you. No, you practice for you. So then give your best. Always remember, if you give you half for others, it's okay. But when you do something for you, give your best. Keep it as an attitude, mental quality. So then when you sit for meditation, do your best. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. Your right palm on your left and make it straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Swapatveva, oh, may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times, please, and find the sensation. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. When it happens through the sensation, recognize it and do nothing extra. So bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Tavata chami sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Maya Dhamma Nudhamma Padipattiya Buddham Pujemi Dhammam Pujemi Sangham Pujemi Attaya Maya Patipattiya Jati Jara Vyadhi Maranam Ha Paripunjissami Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless.